just like every week, I'm doing some basic checks to make sure everything's working alright. Looks like video is good. Hi. Audio seems like it's okay. Let's check the stream health. It says I have excellent connection. Oops. I'm sure it'll actually tell me something in a second. There we go. Cool. Excellent connection. Alright. Everything seems to be working just fine. Just handy dandy. Don't drink brandy. Alright. So, fun fact. There's a label, a music label, Chill Hop Music, that actually has a program that lets you use their music in your videos, as long as you're signed up with they have a content creators program, which it takes the total of 10 seconds to sign up with, and then you just link your accounts, and then you can download music from their label and just use it, as long as you credit them. So we should have a little more variety today. Hopefully I've picked a good mix of music, and that'll just play in the background while this is going on. So, at request, did I say that word right? Because it sounded right in my head, but somehow I feel like it wasn't right out loud. Anyway. By request of request? Request? Why does that word sound wrong? Someone asked that I do something 2D drawing, 2D sketching, so this is probably a good time to figure out how the 2D tools work on here. So we're going to try out the 2D animation thing. Oh, cool. I have no idea what any of these things mean. Alright, so we're going to preemptively save, because that's a good idea. Oh, that's cool. And it even tells you down here what the name of the song is. Oh, that's the advantage of playing stuff on my computer as opposed to... Oh, darkness. Okay. Yeah, that's the advantage of playing something on my computer as opposed to, streaming it through a different app. I'll just use VLC. Okay, let's see what we got here. It's basic drawing, basic fill, erase, tint, cutter, eyedropper. Okay, cool. So this looks like a standard drawing program, with the exception that it's technically designed for 3D animation. Let's see, or 2D animation. Let's see how it works with cursor. Or sorry, the pencil. Oh, that's nice. The increased weight that you put on it deepens the stroke. Oh, that's really nice looking. Okay, we're gonna Control Z that, because I don't want that. As much as I love you, Random Scribble. Now is grease pencil just one color? Can I make this... What is this? Why doesn't this work? Material. It looks like I can't change that, but I can change this. So, draw. Versus tint. Interesting. So if I come in and I draw... Oh, I guess it does change the color. Huh. But then if I make it the default color... Or what, do I just click that? And then... No, it's still green. So I guess we'll just boop. And then... Cool. Oh, and then if you scribble over it, it makes it even darker. Interesting. Very interesting. That is good to know. Huh. Yeah, this is all going to be just pure experimentation, because I am not really an artist, per se. I don't draw much, and when I do, it doesn't come out the way I want it to. But also I've found that I'm a lot better at drawing when I can easily just Control-Alt-Delete as opposed to having to erase or draw over it, because that's a whole different kettle of fish. So, okay, I see that someone is currently watching, so whoever you are currently watching, if you have any ideas for stuff that you'd like me to attempt to sketch on here, because this is all going to be experimental, feel free to throw a comment in the chat, because otherwise I'm going to make up something random. There's like a 30-second delay, so I probably have to wait 30 seconds if you choose to comment. If you don't, that's cool. That's up to you. Do what you want to do. And I will sketch something else. Those blots. Looks like they are. Interesting. Oh, I guess that's from, oops. Okay, here we go. Let's see. What to draw? I always want to try to draw humans, but humans are complicated. I wonder... I know this is cheating, but so shh. But can I add in a reference? It doesn't look like I can. I was hoping I could add in a reference image. Interesting. Object mode. Whoa, what is that? Okay, so it looks like I'm still in the same thing, but different? Can I draw in 3 dimensions? Whoa! That's like some eldritch horror type thing. Like you can only truly behold it from one angle. Yeah, there we go. But then if you try to look at it the other way, it turns into whatever this is. That's cool. Let's see if I can get back to my original menu. Okay, I don't think I can. If I just press 1? Is it just 0? I guess it would have to be 0, right? So like if I do a sketch like this, like a bunch of little scribbles, and I do that. Huh. That is really cool. So... oh, that is sick. So when you're working in 2D animation, it's just the same... it's the same workspace, but you're just observing it from, obviously, a 2-dimensional angle. And so everything you do here is 2-dimensional, but if you drop out, it becomes part of the 3-dimensional grid. And so if I switch over to object mode, suddenly this is an object, so I can scale that. Oh, this is drawing software that I can get behind. Which means, if this is an object, and this is a render, then I don't have to use this for straight animation. Because I can take this object right here and then switch it over to the compositing mode. See, it's in the 2D animation tab, but technically speaking, if I add just a general layout, boom, there it is. Oh, that's so cool. Huh. Yeah, Coyote. It's all just one big canvas. That's so cool. Gosh darn it, Blender, you keep throwing little surprises my way, and I love it. Okay, so what this means now is if I add a layout node and I drag this, how do I move this? Can I move it? Right or different? I can move it. So I put that there. This object now exists in the general layout, and if we do the rendered, that's what it looks like, because those are the settings given by the animation tab. So if I go with that layout in mind, I can then turn around and take this and render a single image of it, and boom! You can use the 2D animator as a basic drawing program, or maybe not even a basic one. I don't know. I don't use a lot of drawing programs, but I like familiarity. And I'm pretty familiar with the Blender UI. Might have to add thickness to it to get it to render properly. Also fair. Although, or I guess you're seeing 30 seconds behind. So I'm looking at my live feedback, and I go over to render, and then it pops up right now. So by the time you hear this, it'll be 30 minutes later. Can I show you what I'm seeing? I should be able to, right? I want to make sure there's nothing on there that I don't want someone to see. Dang it. Gotta squish that. Yup. Never mind. Well, yep, there's the catching up. Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm really excited. Okay, so with that in mind, let's use this to, well, hang on then. What happens if you erase part of it? Because I'm noticing the erasing is kind of a light thing. So how does this work as an object? So if I pop over to layout again, and drop out of there, and then put this into solid mode, does it still render as a... So it still renders as a single object. Interesting. Now does everything from the animation tab render as a single object? So like if I add another grease pencil and I put it to blue and I just do this, does that squiggle? Yeah, I guess it does, because it's all part of the same collection. Interesting. That's really cool. Okay. Let's erase everything. That's taking too long. Let's make it 1 billion miles wide. Okay, let's see. See, and there's still little scraps, and those are things I missed. Where are you guys? Down here, apparently. I wonder, is there a way to reset it back to white? Because you have a fill command. Fill it blue. But I guess it has to be an enclosed object, so if I do it like that, and then fill. Okay, that didn't work. Do I just circle this area? What about these lines? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Draw mouse, new stroke in the active grease pencil object. So these are grease pencil objects right here. So if I leave that and then do this, or does it only highlight if it's filled? So if I do this, what happens to this one? Okay, it renders it as a single connected ups. Okay. Huh. If I increase the leak size. Huh. It goes all the way. Oh, I just realized that's the form review screen. Like if I have it right there. Thickness. Crank that up all the way. Oh, jeez. Ah! So it's focusing on areas that I've already touched. Ah ha ha. This is horrifying. I love it. Wonder if those lines can be manipulated with nodes. Maybe. What did you have in mind with nodes specifically? Like, Oh, I just realized I should probably... Oh, no, I didn't want to give it a thickness of N. It feels like a weird pickup line. Like a weird nerd pickup line. Let's turn on screencast keys. Realize it's not quite as visible. Let's make this a different color. Dark orange. That's mostly visible, right? It's a horrendous color, but it's pretty high contrast, so I'm gonna stick with it. Okay. I want to reset this. Is there a way to dissolve point? Oh, okay. And stroke? I feel like I'm having a stroke. Not really. It's a joke. Okay, so first thing I want to do before I start drawing anything is I want to figure out what all these tools do. Okay, so I have this line, blah blah blah. I come over here to erase. I do point, and that erases. Oh, wait a second. I know how this works. Go to edit mode, select this. Let's check it out in the layout tab. I would bet my bottom dollar this is composed out of edit mode. Really? Nope, there it is. I knew you had vertices in you. Thinking almost like hard modeling, how you can modify a square to make it a triangle. Yeah, well apparently, Tyote, my discovery kind of timed perfectly with, you know, when your comment came through. Because yeah, all of these are composed of individual vertices. So if you do this, enable, what are you called? Proportional editing, and then just whoop, do that. Suddenly, you can modify something you drew in three-dimensional space. Which, if that sentence doesn't make you feel super, super cool, then, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Look at that. That is a three-dimensional line existing in a two-dimensional plane drawn by a one-dimensional brush. Technically two-dimensional. Anyway, point being. Okay, I should probably actually draw something, right? Because I'm having so much fun just figuring out how this software works. Because I have never, ever dared to touch... No, okay, I still want to figure out the eraser settings, because it has three settings, one of which is dissolve, which I don't know how that works with the vertices. I'm assuming it keeps the vertices, but it just slowly dims the opacity, and then if opacity goes all the way to 0 or 100 or whatever it is, then it just removes the vertex. Oh, I have hiccups now. Oh man, I get hiccups at like the most inconvenient times. I'm just gonna suffocate it. Okay, should be good. Knock on wood. Okay, and then stroke, I'm assuming this is going to delete the entire line. Aha! So if I do this, and this, and then I pop over to eraser and do that, okay, those two are affected. What happens if I do this, then this, then this? Does it consider them all to be one? No, it's smarter than that. That's good. What if I make them really interconnected? I'm assuming the answer is no, because, I mean... Yeah. Ta-da. Then I hit erase on this one. Nope, it's just gonna erase the individual strokes like it said it would. Okay, here's the thing, though, that I'm realizing. You want to talk about perfect 2D sketching, like in my universe, in my perfect world. Watch this. I have a circle, okay? Kind of an ugly circle. What do I do to that circle to make it feel better? Well, I go over to object mode because it's an object, and then I scale it on the Z-axis and I make it look more perfect. Boom. Except, now that I'm thinking about it, that might have certain problems because I think these all are considered the same object. So if I go over to edit mode... Oh, no. Oh, okay. Object mode, I can select... Wait. Grab. It's grabbing a single point. Oh, but I can easily just do this. Whoop. Okay, cool. Then I can scale this without having to worry about the other ones. What if I increase proportionally? Okay, yeah. Oh, that's kind of nice, actually. So if I turn it down all the way, I can make this thing massive without even worrying about touching the other lines. But if I do want it to have a ripple effect, like if I want to create in an animation a hand-drawn looking effect where something gets, you know, bigger or whatever, I can just do this frame by frame and then increase proportional editing to kind of, you know, do that as well. That is actually a really nice feature. Huh. I'm loving that. What do all these things do? Okay, so that lets me bend specific stuff. Oh, and it depends on where you have the mouse. I assume it's relative to a point. Yeah, because if you come up here, it's focused there. So if I bend it there and then go over here... Oops. I've made it too destructive. But then you just Control-Z it. That's so nice. Then shear. Turn our sphere into a... or turn our circle into a line. Radius? Oh, that makes it thicker. Oh, that's really nice. See, these are the nice things. If you want a previous stroke to be thicker, all you have to do is just come in with the radius modifier. And then extrude. I want to know how extrude works. Oh, exactly as you would expect. Just extrude that single point. This is horrifically horrendous, and I want to see how we can break it. It looks like it's defaulting to the x-axis, but if we specify the z-axis, boom. It's a horrific work of art. And you can see the individual, like, whatever those things are called. Okay, because this is an object, let's just delete it. That is so cool. Except now I have nothing to select, so I can't go back into draw mode. That's awkward. Don't do what I just did. Just don't do it. Because you need something, otherwise you can't shift modes. But if you go back... Because I guess it is a single object, so... We'll just come over here to stroke and then... What is this? What's this from? Oh dear. Okay. So you had to actually find where the thing started. Okay. So now that we've done all this fooling around... Except I'm kind of tempted to keep fooling around. Boom. Straight line. Yeah. What's going on? I think I broke it. Straight line. Do I have to double click? Why is it... Creates predefined grease pencil stroke shapes. Okay. I create line. but then I can't do anything else. It's not letting me select anything, so I assume I'm doing something wrong. Oops. Nope, okay. See, if I left click, do I have to double click? Huh. I guess I have to middle mouse click. I'm not sure what's up with that. Because I make the line and then I can't do anything, but if I right click it disappears, so it's kind of like a nice little undo, but then if I middle click it solidifies. Okay. Don't fully understand the interface for that, but I don't understand the idea behind the interface for that, but now that I understand how to use it, that is a lot nicer. How does that work if I use my drawing tablet? So draw, and then I have to double tap, I guess. No? Well, what just happened? Did I change its color? Okay, bring it up here, tap, tap, right click. Nope. Okay, now nothing's working. Tap, tap. Click, right click. Huh. Let's see, one of these I set to spacebar, I think. Yeah, what if I just hit shift? Can it be any key? No? Alt? Nope. It looks like that other one finally deleted. Control. Whoa, what's going on here? Okay. Did I create a pivot point? Or did I just break it? How am I doing these things? I want to know. Oh. Guess if you... Is this set to left click? Okay. So it doesn't look like it's super friendly when it comes to drawing lines for the drawing tablet, so keep that in mind. And if it is, I am just not clever, I guess. Let's crank up that radius. Let's make it thick. See, now if you're doing this with mouse and keyboard, it's kind of uniform in its shapies, so be aware of that. Get rid of the whole thing. Whoa, hang on. Wasn't that two different? Yeah, that was one. Boom. Oh, okay, I guess I just must have accidentally clicked both. Ha! Okay. Increase the strength. Can I make it solid? I can! Okay, so that's what the strength does. I mean, that was pretty obvious in hindsight, but... So if I set that to 60, that's kind of where we were before. Can I change the opacity of already established lines? Tint. Okay, this wasn't what I was going for, but that's actually really cool. So it takes the opacity status of the previous things and then you can color on top of them. That is cool. What if I crank this all the way up? See, but no matter what I do, I can't make this as bright as that. So that's not what this is for. Cutter, slice. Just Okay. Got rid of all of that. If I do that, do that. How is it defining cut? What? I cut everything out, except for everything. Just kidding. I actually do. So if I do that, it's gone. Let me try to understand this. Cut. It cuts. Cut. It cuts. Cut. It cuts. Cut. It cuts everything. Maybe I made too complex of a cut. Or maybe there's some sections. Then again, actually that would make sense because it's basically just deleting a single vertex. It's deleting the line between a vertex and another vertex. And in some situations, I'll try to bring up an example here. But in some situations, you'll notice that. So there's just a basic line, but if we hop this over into object mode, click on this thing. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Hop this over to object mode and then edit mode, and then focus on the individual vertices. You notice that there are some sections that have a longer period between them. See, there's a, oops, no, don't want to do that. There's a longer stretch between this one and this one than there is these ones. In fact, I would be willing to bet that if I were to take this snipping tool and I were to go right here, yeah, it would get rid of a huge chunk, whereas if I went right here, it would get rid of the whole thing. That was not what I thought would happen. Maybe I need a more complete cut? Nope, just the whole thing. Huh. Okay, don't really know what's going on there. Or why I can't cut that one. Or that. But I can cut that. Maybe it works better with small sections. Or it just didn't like what I was doing that one time. Okay, let's erase everything and get back to pretending to draw. Of course, I'm already this far. I'm kind of tempted to just keep going and see how much more we can learn about how this thing works. What's the full canvas? Oh. Okay. It's bigger. That's the main thing that I'm getting. They kind of hide this away, so if I were to do this. But is there something else going on with this full? Can I pull it back over? See, I got that, but I don't have any of the settings. So what's the advantage? Also, this little dot snuck away. Huh. Alright. What are you? Oh, annotate? Okay, let's make annotations on the active data. Oh, okay. So I'm betting that if I do this, and then I have a little arrow pointing to it, that if I do a render image, the annotation won't pop up. Hey! There we go. Does the annotation delete? No, it doesn't. Not like a normal stroke. I assume there's a annotation eraser. Does not have a... Huh. What else do we have? Annotate line. Boop, boop, boop. See, your lines are much easier to figure out than these ones. Oh, I guess it... Oh! Oh, I get it now. With these lines, it gives you the option to modify, and then you just click the middle button in order to confirm that you're done. Okay. And you can do this with other shapes as well, so like this square. So if I want to squish the square, I can just do that, and now it's officially squished. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I can dig that. Okay, it looks like with the annotation eraser, it works better if you click on a single vertex, so that it knows what to work with. That is good to know. As for these ones, it should all just delete out. Except, I also see these guys who are just floating around. They're almost like ghost marks. Like, they won't show up in the final render, or the final image in this case, so you don't really have to worry about deleting them, but it feels kind of weird to leave them there. Okay, let's draw something simple. Mostly because I started this a little later than I wanted to, and sleep is probably good. Also, let me know if you like the music selection I have. I do try to get, for my Blender days, you know, more of a lo-fi, chill hop type vibe, and I'm really digging this soundtrack. My goal is to get more. Currently I have 12 songs, which, if I ran the numbers correctly, they should have lasted about half an hour, which we're starting to loop now. I think this is the first song that I played when I started the stream. There might have been another one, so this might actually be the second one. Anyway, point being, it should be looping now, but up until, I think, the last song, everything has been different songs. So, there is looping. I'm planning on getting more music. I just found out about the Chill Hop music license, I kid you not, like 10 minutes before I started actually recording. So I just super fast went through, found their library, downloaded a bunch of songs that sounded cool, and then put them in a playlist so VLC could work with them. Okay, let's do a flower. Sweet, simple, concise. Nothing too complicated. How big of a radius can we go for? Ooh. Okay, sorry. I'm distracting myself with giant radii. Let's bring it down to... what does that look like? Okay. Probably a 30. I don't remember what the default was. That's pretty good, actually. So we'll just erase you, and then I guess just figure out how to draw. Okay. I'm getting used to this. Oops. I guess we're just gonna do that. That's okay. Oh, that made it. Interesting. Okay. So I wouldn't say it's a perfect replacement for a traditional drawing program, but I am liking it. think I'm honestly better when it comes to 3D modeling, but I wasn't always good at that. My first render was literally just a polygon, and I said, hey, it's a D20. It was just a polygon. I mean, technically it was a 20-sided polygon, but that's neither here nor there. Point being, I'm not insinuating that everyone can be good at everything, but I am insinuating that, I'm not even insinuating, just straight up saying that practice can lead to good things. Just remember that. Let's make it a sort of a pinkish reddish flower. Like a magenta? Is that what color magenta is? Actually, I gotta make this probably a lot bigger. But and I could probably use the tint modifier for that. Let's just... Oh, hang on. What are these secret hidden images? What are you? Did I forget to delete something? I mean, it's a distinct possibility. I'm actually really liking, I know it's such a weird detail to get hung up on, but I'm actually really liking how this looks. So what I might actually do is turn this flower into a tree. See, sometimes it's not about where you start off, it's about where you end up and what you do to get to that point. I can understand now why a lot of people say that drawing and all this jazz is so relaxing. It's always been kind of weird for me because I haven't really been good at it. It's frustrating when you can't, you can't get what you have in your mind onto paper. And I'm not saying that, I'm doing exactly what I had in mind, but I am saying that it's a lot easier to turn your mistakes into something else. Hang on a second. I have brush types. Can I use a cloud modifier? Not a cloud modifier, but a cloud brush? Palette down here. Dot stroke. Oh, okay, cool. Solid fill. Oh, nice. And then if you contradict it, it freaks out a little bit. Oh, that's really cool though, actually. Squares stroke. So it's like the dot stroke, but squares. Okay. Can I make more? Probably not. Unless... Huh, but I could modify it. Input samples. Factor smooth, angle, factor hardness, curves. Okay. I'm wanting to apply kind of a cloud effect, but I guess that would be more of a stamp instead of an actual drawing, so we'll, oops. That's not what I meant to do. We'll just stick with solid stroke and then leave that alone. Then again, why leave it alone when we can use the dot stroke in order to get some good looking leaves on this tree? Let's crank up the radius. Probably want to do more of a linear type thing. Maybe not dots. Let's just stick with solid stroke for now. It's easier to work with. Alright, oops. So you might be thinking that this looks more like a cloud that's gently caressing a tree than the leaves of a tree. Don't you worry. I have a plan. Okay, then we're going to add a second layer. I want to give it like that hand-painted look, which I think is one of those things that Blender is really good at. We'll increase the hardness around here. Noticing that occasionally, I mean you saw that, it occasionally drops a heavy dot. Might need to modify some of the drawing pad settings, but work in progress. Go back. Nope, I cannot. But here's the thing. Because you're an object, what are you? These are hidden entities. Let's do some polishing up around the sides. Object mode? Aha! I did erase you. Alright. It looks like some of that might just be because of my drawing pad sensitivity. But look at that. Two-dimensional hand-drawn, hand-painted tree. Does it have thickness? Oh my gosh. It totally has thickness. Right, because the radius of the brush applies in all dimensions. So if I increase it to be like this, then that, it's a bean. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I know for some of you out there this is like, standard stuff. Well, for me, this is exciting. Okay. Want to see what this beautiful tree looks like. Exactly like you'd expect. A beautiful tree. I duplicate. I can. Can I scale down? I can. And it counts it as a separate stroke, which means if I want to modify this one, so if I go into drawing mode here, and then I go over to my eraser, see, if I erase, it's not going to affect this, because this, technically speaking, isn't what I'm actually interacting with. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's undo that. Except, what if we didn't? What if we instead, so duplicate, drop, rotate on the Z-axis. Boom. Slightly different looking tree. Similar in concept, and if I increase this along the Y-axis, that's the exact same tree, and it looks slightly different. Especially if I keep rotating it. Just rotate it all the way around. Like this. Scale Y. Boom. Oh my gosh. It actually looks amazing. I mean, not like amazing, but like that was the effect that I was hoping for, is that it looks like a different tree, albeit it kind of bulged all of the lines. Look at those lines. Want to see what this thing looks like in 3 dimensions? Because remember how much stretching I did? Yep. Power of perspective, baby. It's a perfectly normal thick tree. It's tree thick. Yes, thick babby. I mean Thursday's brew. Sorry. Wrong name. Okay, let's exit out of that. Just get the tree, scale it up. Grab it, move it over. Simple tree. What can we do with this? Do we want to do anything with it? It's almost midnight. I guess this isn't really my longest stream ever. I mean, hasn't even really been an hour, but I think for the purposes of this stream, I'm going to call this an absolute win. The thing I want to try to do later on, actually, let's just do that right now. This stream is basically, this is the end result of the stream project. It's just making a thing in Blender and learning new skills about it. I consider that a win because, I mean, now I know that this is a thing, and it's fun to work with. So if we go into layout mode, oh, that's a goth tree. Material preview? Whoa, that's actually really cool looking. Then rendered, and that's just because of the lighting, right? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by this. We turned down the strength. Nope, apparently it is its own light source. So, regardless of what anything is, that looks really cool on black, actually. It doesn't look so great on gray. Like there it's kind of translucent. On, oops, I forgot I could go past 1. On white it looks like a standard canvas. What if I put it on green? Now it's horrific. Blue background's not bad. Some of these are worse than others. Boop. Boop. Okay. Crank that down. I really like the black. I think the black makes the tree pop somehow. Don't actually know how that works, but it looks pretty cool in my own personal opinion. Screw it, we're just gonna make a bunch of them. Scale it on the Y. Ooh, hang on, what's that doing? I'm gonna go back here, scale it on the Y. Scale it on the Y. I guess it can only get so thin in the Y direction. That's the external. Now that is a thick tree, but if we scale it back on the Y, it should go back to normal. Oop. Ironically, this tree is probably, no, it's the same size as the other ones. They are two-dimensional, so to speak. Scale it on the X, and then the Z. Oops. Accidentally hit H for hide. Drag it down, put it here. They all have a little thing. I mean, they've all got random brush strokes that I need to sort out, but yeah, one step at a time. Rotate on the Z. Whoop. Grab, drag. Scale it on the X. Scale it on the Z. Scale it on the X. Whoop. Rotate slightly. I want to rotate that in three-dimensional space. Scale that wide, not that wide. Yeah, and then on the Z, make it a little bit taller. Hang on, if this is an object, that means we can use nodes with it, right? Can I make an array? I can. And because they're scaled weirdly in that direction, I can make lots of them. I love that. What else can I do with this? Increase the opacity. Whoa, what the heck? Actually, that would be really cool for animation purposes. Hang on, hold on a second. Look at this. Just turn that tree into a standard tree. You take out all the opacity. But then you do this and you get to watch as the whole thing kind of undoes itself. So you have those weird two eye paint blob things, and then you watch the tree as it grows, and oh, that's cool. I'm gonna leave that opacity effect on. Apply. What can we do with this one? Tint? Go to bluish. That's kind of cool. So if I want to make my trees a little more red looking, red tint. Don't want to do that though. Thickness? Is this just increasing it in the Y direction? No? Maybe? What are you doing to it? Is it just scaling it? No, because that would be scaling. Can I shrink it? I can. Oh, that's really cool. So it reduces the thickness of the individual lines. Wow, that makes it look a lot more like individual elements. That's cool. I want to apply that. Because why not? Smooth? Hook. I guess this depends on another object. Okay, these are pretty basic things. What about material? Oh, I guess it has its own... Wait a second. No, wait a second. Can I shade? I can shade. So it has a material. What happens if I give it different material? Hang on a second. Let's add a new material. Call this thing tree. Add an output node. Okay, it doesn't want to let me search. Oh, it doesn't want to let me use any nodes. That's kind of disappointing. Oh well. It was a nice try. Solid stroke. Wait, what if I set this to squares? Dots? That? Dots has a principle of the BSDF? Really? Okay, here's the thing though. Because of that, I can take advantage of this like crap. Like, make that thing look metallic, boom, rendered. Reduce the metallic? Guess it doesn't really do much. Specular. It's not reflecting light. Roughness? Nothing. Clear cut. Nothing. Okay. I return you to your former glory. Alright. Well, that was fun. Texture brush. Effect. Shadow? Oh, that's cool. Don't think I need it here. What about a swirl? Object. Stroke 1. It's not doing anything. Maybe stroke 2. I obviously don't understand that one. Wave distortion. Ooh, hang on. If I apply it... Oh, it looks like I can't apply it. It's just a thing. You go far enough, eventually it gets normal again. Phase? Probably have a period effect applied. Okay. It's your basic wave distortion modifier. Glow. Oh, hang on. Cool. Opacity. Let's make it a faint glow. Very faint. But huge in the X direction. Oh, I see how they do the glow effect. That's clever. It's just the same picture over and over and over again. That's clever. I respect that. exactly what I expected it to be. Blur. Actually, that's kind of cool. Colorize. Like trees in autumn. Kind of. Are there any ones I haven't tried yet? Pixelate. Actually. That's a really, really underappreciated effect. Look at that. Boom. If I had come in with this intention, I could easily be making pixel art sprites. I'm actually really tempted to apply that effect to all of them now. Give you a 50. And a 50. Boom. Minecraft tree. Okay, not really, but 50. Guess what you're getting? Pixelation. Trees. If I crank this down to 35, it probably makes the tree a little bit clearer, and you get the individual distinction. Okay, how far down can I go while still making it look kind of pixel arty? That is pretty close. I bet you if I do it to 25, it's going to be exactly what I have in my head, which is, that's almost there. So probably closer to 27. It's really, maybe I should have just, I'll just stick with 30. That's 3. That's definitely better than the 50, I'll tell you that much. Look at that. Tree sprites. Of course, if I'm going this direction, I'm probably going to delete the 2. Scale this one up. And just make it the center of attention. Boom. This was not made in the traditional way at all. It was hand drawn and then experimented with until something randomly looked really cool and stuck. Render image. Pixel tree. Ta-da! On the other hand though, there's something oddly satisfying about those individual brush strokes. It's midnight, so I think this has been a fun process of discovery, finding out about how this whole thing works. I actually really like the drawing stuff built in here, so I'm probably going to use this for future projects. So this was mostly a day of discovery, for the specific purposes of actually trying to draw and ending up making pixel art. So with that in mind and done and out of the way, I'm going to, I know I already rendered it, but we're going to render that, save this image. We're going to call this pixel tree. Is this the right day? Should be. Pixel tree, save, and then modify the thumbnail. plot twist, I don't actually get to change the thumbnail until after. I should probably just create like a generalized Blender a day thing so it doesn't confuse people. Which that's probably... maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. Who knows? I like to keep it fresh. Alright, well, thank you for joining me for today's Blender a day. I appreciate it, and this was fun. Actually, I really enjoyed figuring this out and learning more about this software. I like Blender. Maybe for one of these I'll figure out the last thing to my knowledge that I haven't at least touched, and that's the video editing software, which is built in, and I know it still works in the same plane. So like you can have a 3D object that interacts with your video. By interact I mean like your video basically displays almost like an image, except, you know, moving images. But then if you drop out of that two-dimensional view, your video is being played just as a perfect fit to what the camera can see. And then if you wanted to, you could take an object like back in this three-dimensional space and then shove it through the video, and you just have a cube suddenly coming out of the video screen. So I might look into that, not tomorrow though, but I will be doing a thing. Oh, bright lights.